Hello and welcome back. So, in this episode, we'll look at how you can rediscover your expertise. Now, notice the title of this episode is Rediscovering Your Expertise. It's not about discovering it because it's not like digging for gold or you're unearthing something new. It's something that's already hidden within you. You just need a new pair of eyes to help you locate it and find it, to dig it out and actually use it to make a difference in your life. Now, some of the questions we talked about in the last episode was some of the questions that will help you find out or to question or to start um, thinking the right way, to change the way you think or the way you perceive things. That way you can start looking at some of the areas in your life whereby you've been blessed and some of your special talents and abilities. And basically, we left that episode when you talked about looking at your superpower. What is your superpower? Now, in this episode, we're going to look at rediscovering your expertise. So I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions here, and I want you to really think about the answers. Take a moment and pay attention to what really keeps on coming up again and again so that you can find exactly what your expertise is. Now, what have you been studying for the past couple of months, years, or even the past weeks? Maybe it's something you started just a few weeks ago. Maybe it's a lesson that you started maybe a while ago. Whatever it is, whatever the time frame is, what is it have you been consistently learning? What have you been kicking out on? If I actually look at your Google history right now, or your search history, on your online search history, even your mobile phone search history, what would be the common theme that I would find there? What are some of the books that you've bought in your library or in your shelves? What books have been sitting there idle for so long that you've been meaning to read, but you haven't gotten around to actually reading them and actually implementing whatever it is that is in those books? So what books are you reading right now? What is the main topic or subject of these books? Are you more of the fitness type? Do you have more books on health and nutrition? Or what about maybe you love music? Do you have more books on music? What about interior design? Do you like designing decor of houses and whatnot? Would you like sewing or fashion design or whatever it is? What kind of books have you been piling up in your shelves? Who do you follow on social media? Okay, just going back on the previous one, I want you to find out and really dig deep and find like maybe in a word or two or at most a sentence, like what is the main topic or the subject of some of these books? What do they talk about? Is it books specifically on interior design? Is it books specifically on fashion? Is it books specifically on cooking? Do you have cookbooks? Do you have books on how to play specific instruments? Do you have books on basketball? Do you have books on biographies? Do you have books on whatever it is? What is the constant theme that you find? What about business or accounting or whatever it is? Whatever it is have you been kicking out on? Because you actually already spent money to get some of these books. And so the question is you just need to identify exactly what type of books that you've been spending money on and that are already piling up on your shelf, just to give you an idea of, or just to give you like a general location of whereby of what your specific expertise is. Because like I said, the title is to rediscover your expertise. And so now moving on from that one, I want you to think about and really take a moment and to think about, who do you follow on social media? Who are some of the mentors in your niche? What are some of the people that you look up to? What are some of the people that you would like to become? Who do you follow on social media? What kind of videos do you watch? Because everybody follows somebody on social media. Okay, so like for me, for instance, I have several things that I'm interested in. I have like fitness, so I have a couple of fitness guys on my social media. I have marketing guys on my social media. I have advertising guys on my social media. I have some chefs there because these are some of the interests that I have. And so I want you to pay attention and really find out who exactly do you follow on social media? What kind of posts do you never want to miss out on? What kind of posts do you consistently make sure that you find that even if as you're scrolling down your feed, who would you have to stop and pay attention to whenever they speak? And so that's what I want you to pay attention to. Who do you follow on social media? And what do they talk about? What is the theme about what they talk about? Are they more about discipline like David Goggins, or are they more fun stuff and relationship types like Andrew Tate? Or who is it that directly influences, or who has your ear on social media? Who do you pay attention to? What channels have you subscribed to on YouTube? If I was to go on your YouTube channel right now, or your YouTube account right now, who would I find? What is the consistent theme that I would see on your YouTube page, on your YouTube profile? Would I find videos on preachings? Maybe you're into God and love things about God. Would I find more videos on preaching? What about learning music, or even about creating content? What about videography, filmmaking, or about art? What would I find on your social media, or specifically your YouTube channel? Because you see, this is the thing about YouTube. A lot of the times, the things that we're interested in, it keeps on bringing up, because that's how the algorithm of YouTube is designed. And so a lot of the times you find that as we show certain interest to certain things, you'd find that some of those things would keep on popping up. And so I want you to go into your YouTube channel today, and I want you to find out what is the main themes, what is the recurring subject that you find repeating on your YouTube channel, because chances are that is what you're interested in. Another question you can ask yourself is, what kind of topic excites you? Whenever you're having a conversation with your friends or with your family, is there a specific topic that you find yourself drifting towards, or bring it up time and time and again? Would you find yourself just bringing about working out, about health, or about benefits, or about nutrition, or about money, or about the stock market, or forex exchange, or whatever it is? What is it that keeps on coming back? What is that the main topic of your conversations? And even on that topic, I want you to find out, what about the apps that you have on your phone? What kind of apps do you have? Do you have apps on Bible study? Do you have apps on filmmaking? Do you have apps on taking better photos? Do you have apps? What kind of apps are actually filling your phone right now? So I want you to pay attention to some of these things. That way you're able to find out what exactly is your niche, or what exactly is, not by a niche, I mean a specific or a sub market of a much larger market. But that is for later. For now, I just want you to find out, what is the main topic? What is the thing that excites you about all these things? What can you teach others? If you were to sit down with people, what would you talk about for hours and tell them about this and this and this? Like for me, for instance, one of the things I'd like to take about is personal development. I've done so heavily, I've invested so heavily in myself. I've read so many books on personal development, on marketing, on advertising, on copywriting, on sales, and some of these things. So if I would sit down and talk about for hours, it would be these things. And even health, even also health subject. There was a point in my time or in my life where I was into health and fitness, and I used to love bodybuilding, and even running. Most recently, even lost about 10 or 12, no, actually 15 kilos, but just running, doing 3 kilometers every day. And so that is some of the things that I can talk about consistently. So I would find myself, even as we approach people, they'll say, "Oh, look at you, you've lost weight." And then I'll tell them, okay, they'll ask me, what is the secret? And I'll tell them, I've been doing this. I've been running for every day for 6 days in a week. I've been running consistently for about 3 kilometers each and every single day. And so some of these things, they become your expertise. But the problem is, you did them and you got the result, but they don't seem too much of a big thing to you. They don't seem like a big deal to you. And so that is the thing that you need to focus on. And so that's what I'm trying to do with all these questions, is to try to get you to dig deeper and to find it, and actually open your eyes to see the thing that you've already done that people would love to know how to do. And so what can you teach others? What can you talk about for hours on? What do you know more than other people? What help do people come to you from? As I was running, as I was losing weight, people used to come to me and ask me, how would I lose weight? What kind of diet should I take on? What should I do this? What should I do that? And honestly, for me, I would just say, just go running, because it's the easiest way, and it will be taxing to your body. But some of the people will be like, no, it's too much work. It's they don't have the motivation to actually make the change. But here's the thing: they would always come to me for advice because they're struggling in one way or another in ways to lose weight. And so this is a problem that most people have. The thing that you do, you dismiss it. It's not such of a big deal to you, but to other people, it's a big deal, because if somebody has been trying to lose weight for the past 5 years and you've done it in 3 months like I did, I'm telling you, in their eyes, you're an expert. And whatever it is that you will listen, as long as they're motivated enough, they would actually pay attention and actually do it. And so what is it that can you teach others? What do you know more than other people? Look at the things you do for people, and friends and family and some of your colleagues, and some of these things. What kind of advice do you give them? What do they consult you with? Do they seek your relationship advice? Do they come to you for marital advice? Do they come to you for financial advice? Do they come to you for investment advice, for business advice? Do they come to you for growth advice, for personal development, for making a certain change in their lives? What do people consistently come to you for advice for? And the last thing I want you to pay attention to is, what kind of podcasts are you listening to right now? Are you listening to Gary Vee's podcast? Are you listening to Andrew Tate's podcast? Who are you listening to? What is the main theme? What is it you're trying to achieve with this? I want you to pay attention. And as you answer some of these questions, or even all of these questions, even if it's just 2 or 3, as you answer some of these questions, I want you to pay attention to the consistently recurring thing in the things that you're learning about, or the things that you're paying attention to, because chances are these are the things that have piqued your interest. These are the things that you're interested in. And so pay attention to them so that you can find out what is it that your expertise is. That's why the whole point of this episode today, it is to rediscover your expertise. It's not something that is new. It's not something that you don't already have. It is something that is already within you. And so you need to discover it. And even if right now you're maybe in your early 20s or your late teens and you don't even know what it is, what kind of subjects are you interested in right now? You're granted, here's the thing. One of the biggest mistakes that I found out is needing to get things perfect right on the first try. And chances are a lot of the times you won't. If you never played basketball, there's no way you're going to dunk on your first try. If you've never played football, there's no way you're going to score a touchdown on your first try. If you've never done anything, if you've never played music, there's no way you're going to play it a symphony on your first try. And so stop trying to get things right perfectly on your first try. So if it is your first time, even if you don't know what it is that you're interested, all I ask is for you to come up with an idea. What idea has been constantly buzzing in your head that you refuse to let go of? It's like you've been a dog with a bone with it. What is that idea that has consistently been bothering you for years or for months or for days or for weeks? What is it that excites you? What have you been trying to learn for the past few weeks or months or years? What is that idea? And so the problem is, it's not about knowing it from the get-go. It's not about actually getting it right for the first time, but it is actually about just putting in the effort to know what it is that you're interested in, and actually just just trying out and see where it leads you. And so there's no future premise, so to speak. You're not looking for a certain big bright future where you're going to get it right and you're going to do this thing for the next 100 years of your life. No, the goal here is to actually find something. You're allowed to evolve. Okay, the same way when you were kids, you had a specific toy you like to play with, and as you grew, you kind of outgrew that specific toy or that specific cartoon or that specific movie. And nowadays you don't watch even those movies, because you see, this is the thing. Even your taste in clothing has consistently changed. Even your taste in subjects has consistently changed. Over the years, as you grow, things will continue to change for you in your life. And so the goal here is to find the next thing that will lead you to the next thing, whatever it is. Whether it is going to be that thing that's going to lead you, like you're going to do that thing for the rest of your life, or you're just going to do it for the next phase of your life, regardless of whatever it is that you're interested in. So if you don't feel like you have anything right now, I want you to pick an idea, something that you're remotely interested in, and then pursue it for at least 1 year or 2 years, and then kind of discover what it is that you're going to do later on. If it's that the thing, then so be it. If not, then you're always allowed to change. There's nobody who has said, there's no law that is written in stone that you cannot change. The same way people change careers, whereby you start off as a doctor, you go to school and you study to medicine, and then halfway you decide to change to become a computer scientist, or whatever it is that you decide. There is nowhere that is written that you have that the choice that you make is written in stone that you cannot change it. You are subject to change. As human beings, we are subject to change. We remain constantly evolving. And so don't worry about getting it right for the first time. Don't worry about picking something that you have to do for the rest of your life. Just pick anything that you're remotely interested in, that you're willing to put in the time for the next couple of months to learn and to develop and to master that skill to a certain level that at least you're better than most people or most average people. Because here's the thing about business: you don't need to be the best. You only need to know more than the people that you're helping, and you can actually help them. And so that's the kind of questions that I want you to answer right now. So what is that thing that is constantly repeating itself over and over as you answer these questions? What is the main theme? What is the main topic? What idea has your mind refused to let go over the past few years or even decades? Whatever that thing is, that right there, that is the key to getting all you want in life. That's because at the root of everything, you have a desire, you have a fire within you. You want to help people, you want to serve people, you want to make a difference in people's lives. That is where you get your satisfaction. That is where you get your fulfillment. And my job, the reason why I'm starting this podcast, is to help you bring that out, that you can make a difference, that you can have an impact, that you can change lives of other people and get paid for doing what you love. That way you don't have to worry about money ever again in your life. You may not feel like an expert. In the last episode, we said that you're already an expert, but right now you may not feel like an expert right now, and that is okay. You may not look like an expert right now, and that is okay. You may not dress like an expert right now, and that is okay. You may not be suited. Whatever perception that you have about what an expert is, it is okay, even if you don't feel like it, even if you don't look like the part right now, even if you're a work in progress, that is okay. Here's the thing: when you're drawing a piece, I love to draw and I find it very therapeutic, but a lot of the times when you're starting to draw, when you start drawing the outline and the shapes of things and whatnot, a lot of the times it doesn't look like what it's going to look like in the end. And that is okay, because you see, here's the thing. Whatever it is that you're working on right now is a work in progress. It is something that will develop. It can change along the way. You're allowed to make changes. And so you may not look like an expert right now. You may not feel like an expert right now. You may not be confident enough to call yourself an expert right now, but that is okay. And one of the next episodes, I'll show you what is that requires, or what is that is needed to be perceived as an expert, or to actually be an expert in your field right now. But right now, I just want you to know right now, just just put it in the back of your mind that you are an expert, that you're becoming an expert. And an expert, there's no, like I said, an expert is not a destination, it is becoming. And so you may not feel an expert right now, but it's okay. But I want you to work with me on this. I want you to develop your skills with me on this so that you can get to a point whereby you even surpass that title to becoming an expert. Now, why am I saying this? That it's okay because you're allowed to develop. You're a work in progress. You're allowed to grow. You can become. Being an expert, like I said, I've repeated this again and again. Being an expert is not a destination, but a journey of unleashing your full potential. Right now, your special abilities, your special talents, your special gifts, the thing that God has put inside of you, it is a seed right now. And that thing is hidden deep within you. And that very seed right now is something that you can nurture, it's something that you can water, and something that you can make it grow into becoming a huge tree. Now, I'm reminded of the example of Les Brown. He talks about an example of the Chinese bamboo tree. Now, the Chinese bamboo tree, when you plant it, it takes 5 years before anything even comes above ground. It takes 5 years. And so during those 5 years, what happens is that you continue to water it each and every single day. It absorbs the water, it builds the roots, and it continues to grow deeper. And so even on the surface, it might not look like anything is happening. And it is during that time when people come and ask you, hey, what are you doing here? Why do you keep on watering this ground and there's nothing that is coming up? And so even along the journey, you will find that there are many instances, that there are many opportunities for you to give up. You find that there are many opportunities for you to give up. People will come and question your dream, whatever this thing that you're working on. Because remember, you're an expert, you're a work in progress. So people will come and question what is it that you're doing. They'll tell you to stop wasting your time. They'll tell you to get a real job. They'll tell you to stop, they'll do anything and everything, and their words are going to be hurtful, and they're going to try each and every single way that you know how to get you out of alignment, whatever the thing that is that you're working on, to get you out of alignment, out of the gift, out of developing that gift that is within you. And you see, this is the thing about the Chinese bamboo tree. For 5 years, you will water it again and again. Each and every single day, you will water it again and again and again. But it's only until the 5th year that you'll actually see something. But here's the thing about the Chinese bamboo tree. On the 5th year, it can grow up to 100, I think it's 100 feet. I'm not so sure. I think 100 feet in a week. It can burst forth in like a week. And so that's the thing about your gift. You need to nurture it. Now, some of you may say you're not talented enough, and that is okay. Here's the thing, another thing that you need to remember. I'm reminded of the story of Ed Sheeran. Now, most people know Ed Sheeran as being these great musicians. Some of the hit songs are, like Perfect. I know some of these other beautiful songs that he's created. But most people don't know is that before he came to fame, he was not born a singer. He worked on his voice for years. He developed it. I remember I think it was in a Graham Norton show whereby he was saying that he couldn't sing. He even played a recording of him before while he was trying to sing. And so he was telling the audience, and everyone else was listening. He was telling us that you may not be the most talented person in the room. You may not be the most gifted person in the room. But with hard work and dedication, you can develop and actually become something. And so it is your job to actually pay attention, to actually give your best, your level best, to actually do your best to develop whatever that gift is. Even if it's an interest, even if you're not talented in it, develop it. Take the time to actually work on it. And then in due time, it will bloom into an amazing gift that you can change the lives of millions with. People will be able to pay attention to you even when you speak, and you can actually become that expert and make a difference in other people's lives. And so right now, it may not seem something big. Right now, it may seem something very small to you. But when you nurture it, it's like a seed. It's like that Chinese bamboo tree. When you nurture it, when you continue to water it day and again and again and again, even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't see the results immediately. Even as I'm recording this right now, this is like my second episode, that even as I'm doing this right now, as you continue to nurture it again and again, you will see something come out of it in due time. But so you have to give it time. And so here's the thing. Your superpower is hiding inside of you. It may come easy to you. You may dismiss it. It may not look like anything big to you. It doesn't look like anything at all to you. But here's the thing. You just need to develop it and watch how you can change the world. And my job, the reason why I started this channel, my job or purpose is to help you nurture that gift into its full potential so that you can unleash your full potential. I'm going to do my level best to make that dream a reality for you in your life. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode where we'll be looking at, well, anyway, no spoilers right now, so just check out the next episode that's coming after this one. Thanks. Bye.